YouTube, it's your boy foxxysteve with a whatever this is about to be. Switch 2 impressions, comparison, contrast, conversation. You see the chat over here. I'm talking to them. The chat can say hi to YouTube. And we're just talking about Switch 2. And how I feel about it after having it. Versus buy YouTube. He's gonna dip out of YouTube. That's unfortunate. But I got a Switch 2. My first midnight console launch that I waited in line for since the Nintendo Wii. And much like then, I bought this puppy home. Well, very big difference between the Wii and this. When I brought the Wii home, I set it up that night and was very excited and had a great time. With this bad boy, I took it home and went to bed because I'm older and had to get up in the morning. You got it in your backpack? Nice. So, I just want to do a quick comparison. Here's the Switch 2. It's got fingerprints on it. I'm very sorry. This is not going to be the highest quality video, thanks to the lighting here. But, just size, if everybody's curious about size comparisons, right? Here's the Switch OLED. Look at that. It's so much bigger. Like, wow. Like, it was lost on me until I actually got it in my hands how much bigger it is than the, look, you can see yourself, than the OLED is. And everything is bigger. Joy-Cons, for example. You know, of course, with the Switch OLED / Switch 1, you can press up the button, slide it off. Yeah, Switch 2, it's proven itself already. Like, of course, Switch 2, magnets, how do they work, right? You press this little button in the back of this bad boy. Comes clean off. And one of the things that surprised me the most about the Switch 2 versus the Switch 1 is actually how much more comfortable my hands were using the Joy-Con grip. Because look at the size difference there. Of course, it's still a Joy-Con. It's still booty, right? I'm never gonna want to use this thing as a full controller. However, the size of it. I'll click the other one off real fast. With the grip here, like, of course, I prefer using a full controller. I'm treating this like it's a freaking Switch 1. Hang on. There we go. This is a lot of fun to do, by the way. I love attaching these things. I'm a child. I am a little baby. This thing, for my gigantic, freakish man hands, isn't bad. Like, it's not bad. The original grip, way too small. I did not want to deal with that situation. But for that first day, for some reason, the firmware for my 8-bit DOE wasn't out yet, so I couldn't use this. I was just using this bad boy to play Mario Kart, and it's perfectly serviceable. Like, if you can't afford a Pro controller, if you don't have access to a different controller, using this as a solution is actually not bad. It feels pretty good in my hands. You know, I thought I was gonna hate this like way more than I actually do. This is probably, for me personally, the biggest surprise for the Switch 2 is how much better this is. Legit. Now, of course, if you can get a better controller, get one. Mouse mode. Mouse mode. The only thing I know about mouse mode is how responsive this actually is. The Bird has a Switch 2 Pro controller. I almost kind of want one. Look at that. These can attach upside down and backwards. Yeah, like mouse mode is interesting. I wish there was like a patch to use it for Metroid Prime. But you can't. But yeah, like I'm very impressed with it in terms of that. Also, console feel, the materials of this, the texture of it feels really nice. Absolutely, Bird. It feels more premium. Oh, your Pro controller. I'm very curious about the Pro controller and how much more premium that feels. I will say even the Switch 2 itself feels more premium than the Switch 1. This is basically a single man podcast. Like this, as much as I enjoy the Switch 1, it feels chintzy, right? These don't feel fully connected. Feels like cheap plastic in the back. This has just a different feel to it. Maybe it's because it's new electronics. Imagine being born the day could be me. Hey, Tri-Man Los. What's up, Carlos? Hello. Hope your work day is going smooth. Only complaint is the thumbsticks could be more grippy. Yeah, even the thumbsticks on the thumbsticks themselves feel very similar on the console itself. But this just feels weightier. I love the larger screen. This feels, honestly, the Switch 2 feels more premium to me than the Steam Deck does. The Steam Deck, obviously is an impressive device, but it definitely feels more like the materials feel more chintzy than the Switch 2 does. You're supposed to work 12 to 8. Oh, oh shit. I hope you don't get in too much trouble. Oh God. But in terms of let's talk about screens real fast. Now, this is the Switch 2 screen, right? It's nice, higher resolution. And then, I thought I was impressed by this when I first turned it on. But of course, when I compared it to as soon as it turns on, because I turned it completely off. When I compared it to a Switch OLED, look at that. That's a thumbnail shot right there. That's for the thumbnail. But man, that OLED screen is nice. I'm double fisting Switches, baby. Let's get it. Take that, Mr. Nintendo. Little Switch casting couch, you know what I'm saying? You got one Switch. Oh, hey there. I'm Switch OLED. Man, she'll wish hey there, baby. I'm Switch 2. And then, and then the Steam Deck gets involved. Oh, yeah. Now it's time. Now it's time for a party. Anyway. This little handheld console orgy there for you. None of my videos are made for kids, so that's okay. It's a Switch threesome. The Polykill, they have a very open relationship. Very open relationship. But yeah, I can see why some people getting back on topic. I can see why some people would want this to be OLED as well. Because man, it doesn't come over well on stream here, but my goodness, this is so vibrant. This still is not bad though on its own. I don't feel like I'm missing that much when I'm playing it handheld. Granted, for me, it's not that big a deal because this is primarily a home console for me on the TV. And in that regard, it's fantastic. So I'm very happy with it from that point of view. I have been trying some games on it to see if anything has gotten a natural improvement boost. If they launched it OLED, how could they make Switch 2 OLED for more money? Wait, what? Oh, I mean, this would have cost, if this was OLED, this motherfucker would have been like $700 probably. And I bet when they do eventually release the Switch 2 OLED, it's probably going to be about $600 at that point in time. I'm willing to bet money on that. But we're not there yet, so hooray, right? maybe the world will get better and this will be cheaper. But I will say, I mean, people, we already know. Oh yeah, double purchase, Carlos. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. That's just the way of the world, right? Yo, Gamma. What's up? How are you? Did you get your Switch? I don't remember in chat. Did you get your Switch yet? Just to OLED probably 2027. I think so too. Because you got the Switch 1 came out in 2017. The OLED was 2021? 18, 19, 20, 21. After wrestling with Walmart's website. Oh no, you clipped the handheld swingers. Did you happen to get Pringles and a Coke with it, or? Because I know you had a saga with trying to get the damn thing. Thank you for that clip. I will say we do know already how much better Link's Awakening runs on it, right? I tried it. It is very smooth. No more frame stutters. No Pringles. This came from their warehouse and not the South Euclid store like they promised. Well, shit. Those sons of bitches. Well, at least you finally got it. I tried Astral Chain. The first game I tried was Astral Chain. And unfortunately, it is not an uncapped frame rate. So they will, like, Platinum games would have to come back to this and do a patch for it. So I'm very sad about that. I will say, I mean, visually, the cool thing about Switch 2 that makes it different from every other Nintendo system that's come out with backwards compatibility is that it is not trying to recreate the same video game environment. There's no emulation happening here, like Wii with having a GameCube, basically being a GameCube, or with Wii U recreating the Wii environment. This is just it's going the route of what a PC does instead. So every game will get some kind of improvement because of the brute force of the hardware. So like, yeah, you know, this is just a Switch but better. Like, this is all better hardware. So rather than trying to recreate the games in a different environment, it's just, yeah, actual improvement. This is just like what a gaming PC does with older games. If those games aren't capped, it's just gonna make those games better automatically. Darksiders 3. If you have Darksiders 3, for example, they made that game with an uncapped frame rate. So on Switch 1, it's 30 FPS, there's terrible frame drops, and loading mid-level. You put that same exact chip or same game download into a Switch 2, and the game is automatically 60 FPS right off the bat. And there's no, like, crazy loading times. It's crazy. So I've been in here just kind of seeing what games I own that are better. And the one thing I noticed is there's a game called My Friend Pedro. It's kind of like a side-scrolling, I'll probably throw some footage up for YouTube, but it's a side-scrolling Hotline Miami-like type of game. Runs at 60 normally, and it ran at 60 on Switch 1, but only sometimes. It would have terrible frame drops. On Switch 2, there's not a single frame issue I've noticed. It runs completely smooth the entire time. Very impressed by that. It makes the entire game better. I stopped playing it on Switch 1 because of the frame drops. And on Switch 2, none of that is there. So I think that is just really cool. I think with this kind of thing, it really does revitalize your game library that you already have, because games that didn't run as well or look as well are just going to run and look better, and kind of give those games some new life to them. Even Metroid Prime Remastered, which already looks really good on Switch 1, I can definitely tell that there's a lot less anti-aliasing on Switch 2. It just looks better. It looks smoother on Switch 2. So I'm very excited to find out what Metroid Prime 4 looks like in person, on here as well. I am looking forward at some point to getting Tears of the Kingdom on here. I hope I can get a used cartridge at some point for it. But yeah, I mean, this is my quick and dirty impressions of the system. I don't have any buyer's remorse. I'm very happy I got it. I'm just smitten with this thing. You know, I really liked the Switch 1, and I played it a ton in the earlier days. But as time went on and it tried to do more and more that it couldn't, it just became less of a thing I wanted to spend time with, especially when I had a Steam Deck or a or PC gaming. Oh, my goodness gracious, Ty. Tier 1 resubscription for Ty for 16 months. Thank you, Ty. I love you too, buddy. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. I totally get if for some people it does not reach their value proposition being, $500, and the games being what they cost, like Mario Kart. Mario Kart for me was Chris Panda gave me a birthday present and gifted me Mario Kart World, so I really appreciate that. So I was able to get the unit without the game. But I totally get why you want to hold off on it. And just as a quick, thing about it, in terms of if you should, here's a video about, I'll end this kind of weird stream of consciousness video about here, but I just want to end on if you should buy a Switch 2 or not. The big thing is going to be if you are already a Nintendo fan, for one. If you're already a Nintendo fan and you like Nintendo games, it's a no-brainer. The hardware is quality. I think the games that come out for it are going to be really good. And if you've never been a Nintendo fan, I don't believe this is going to sway you to being a Nintendo fan. If you like playing games on the go, and you want those games to be of decent quality, and for some reason you don't already have like a Steam Deck or the more expensive gaming PCs, I think a Switch 2 is a good alternative for something like that. If you don't already have a good way of playing Cyberpunk 2077, for example, and you want that game on the go, then a Switch 2 is the way to go. The Switch 2 plays Cyberpunk 2077 better than a Steam Deck can. And it's going to be the lowest price point for a mobile thing for you to do that. And you can also transfer that game save data back to your PC version of Cyberpunk and play it there as well. I did see the Xbox showcase. Yeah, I'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, I think if you're looking for, I think the Switch 2 is going to be the best place. It's going to be the best platform Nintendo has ever had for third-party games. There's always been a compromise with the Nintendo console and third-party games, usually. I think the Switch 2 is going to be the best play to play those third-party games that come out, like your Call of Duties, your Grand Theft Autos, your Red Dead Redemption 2s. I think that'll come here. Just a wild guess, but I think we'll see it on Switch 2. And I think you can get the lowest amount of compromise for those games to play them on the go. If that's something you want, then I would say Switch 2 is the way to go. I think the next Pokemon, the next real Pokemon game, is probably going to be a whole lot better than what we've seen. But that's my quick thoughts. The fidelity, I'm struggling with getting Cyberpunk myself because I don't really need it, but I do kind of want it because I want to play it on the go, and the Switch 2 is the best way to do that. That game, in performance mode on Switch 2, runs at a locked 40 FPS. And then on quality mode, it runs at a locked 30 FPS. And I think that's at 1080p. It's comparable to an Xbox Series S, a PlayStation 4 Pro. If you're looking at it side by side on Xbox, like any Tom, Dick, and Harry who looks at a Switch 2 version of Cyberpunk versus PS4 Pro versus Xbox Series S versus PS5, if they just look at them side by side, they may not even see to make a difference. It wasn't no Switch 2 purchase though. I think I want to play it. I want to play Cyberpunk on Switch 2. I want to be able to have it on the go. So I think that game is like the perfect example of what third-party games can look like on Switch 2, without that many compromises in terms of overall fidelity and quality of the game. Even games that have come out like Cyberpunk, like Witcher 3, just run better without them doing anything to it already. So yeah, I think it's a quality system. I'm looking forward to seeing what we see in the future. I'm looking forward to next month. I will be playing Donkey Kong. I'll be playing Metroid when that comes out. You'll get more thoughts and opinions from me on those games for sure. Maybe if I don't feel lazy, I'll get my capture card out and stream some of these things. But yeah, that's going to end it for this quick Switch 2 thoughts and impressions video. If you liked what you see here, go ahead, hit a like on that YouTube video. Put in the comments what you thought of the Switch 2, if you want to get it or not, and I'll see you guys next time.